Upon the block, before all that gazing multitude, stood the auctioneer by his victim. He directed attention to the valuable piece of property, using all his cultivated art to enhance its interest, calling particular attention to her exquisite qualities as a mistress for any gentleman. And this he kept prominent in the most insinuating and vile manner, outraging common decency. Bids began at $250 and went up to $500, when the more respectable men of the South left the field to the Frenchman and myself. When $1,200 was reached, my antagonist turned to me with an evil gleam in his eyes and said, "How high are you going to bid?" "Higher than you do." And the bids rose to $1,300. Again, my enemy, shrugging his shoulders, nervously asked, "How high are you going to bid?" And again I replied, "Higher than you do, sir." Then the villain on the block, becoming impatient, raved and cursed, crying, "Give, give, give!" For the higher the bids rose, the more anxious he became. I bid $1,450. My contestant stood silent. The hammer rose, trembled, lowered, rose, fell, and the fiend flushed, and quick as thought, dropped his hammer, and unbuttoning Eliza's dress, threw it back, exhibiting to the gaze of 2,000 people her superb neck and breast, shouting in the true professional tone, "Look here, gentlemen, who is going to lose such a chance as this? Here is a girl fit to be the mistress of a king." A suppressed cry of shame and contempt, of anger and grief, a bitter murmur of Kentucky wrath and disgust rolled like a wave through that throng. Southern women blushed. Such exclamations as "Too bad," "What a shame," "Horrible," could be heard on every side from both north and south. Bids rose to $1,475. That was my bid. Then there was another lull in the contest, another moment of suspense. The auctioneer seemed at his wit's end, and then followed a scene at which civilization blushed, and angels wept, and the human heart sickened and turned away. For to stimulate bidding, to appeal to and rouse the lowest passions in man, he turned his victim's profile to the excited crowd, and lifting her skirts, laid bare her beautiful symmetrical body from her feet to her waist, and with his brutal sacrilegious hand smote her white flesh, exclaiming, "Ah, gentlemen, who is going to be the winner of this prize? Whose is the next bid?" "Shame, shame," they cried, and Boston and New Orleans shed tears, wept side by side. The Frenchman bid $1,480. "Are you done? Once, twice, do I hear no more? Three!" And the hammer quivered, as the Frenchman's face flushed with triumph. "Three!" And the hammer fell slowly. $1,485. My contestant turned away with an air of indifference. The hammer fell. She was mine. She fainted. "You got her damn cheap, sir," said the auctioneer. "What are you going to do with her?" "Free her, sir," I cried, and I woke a cheer which rose to a true Kentucky shout that rent the air and rang far and wide, proclaiming liberty to the captives of America, Russia, Brazil, and all the world.